Wargaming.net League North America Season 2 Finals. We are live from Treasure Island Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now let's get right to it. Over the past couple of weeks, 16 of the best North American World of Tanks teams have battled it out for their chance to win their share of the WGL's $100,000 prize pool. Now, only 8 teams remain, and for the next 2 days, they will be locked in combat on this stage. And when the dust settles, one team will rise above the rest and claim their victory as the WGLNA Season 2 final champions. It is my pleasure to welcome you guys to this event and to the WGLNA Season 2 finals. Without any further ado, let's battle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the WGLNA Season 2 Finals live in beautiful Las Vegas. I am Joshua Clutchgrade, joined on the desk all weekend long with Andre Gritor-Pengchua and Randall Rukil-Holcomb. We will bring you all the explosive World of Tanks action this weekend. 8 teams are going to be battling for a $100,000 prize pool, and as Lauren said, to be crowned the Season 2 champion. Gentlemen, I am excited because these teams are dynamic, and it's actually anyone's game.
The level of skill has increased so much since Season 1. These teams have come up prepared, and they are ready to win part of that $100,000 prize pool. It's amazing just listening to the stories from all the different players saying how much they prepared, what different strategies that they have, and kind of new things that are going to be brought to the table here.
I mean, the first storyline, the biggest storyline is Fulcrum Gaming back again, the Goliath in this tournament. They won the Season 1 finals, taking home $50,000. Now in Season 2, they're actually not the top performing team. They went down against Wreak Havoc in the very first matchup of Season 2. The big bullseye has been on their back for a long time. People have been studying them, watching their replays, and this is the team that has the most to lose, but again, has been the top performing team consistently throughout esports World of Tanks history in North America.
That's right, they are considered the favorites still, and that must be a little bit frustrating for Simp, who is leading group stages 7-0 to Fulcrum 6-1. Still, nobody's given Simp Main that credit that they deserve. 7-0, that's an impressive feat against the large caliber of play here at WGLNA.
Well, there's one team we definitely don't want to forget, and that is Simple Tankers. Isn't that right, Randall?
Yeah, Simple Tankers performed so well in the last season's finals, taking Fulcrum to the brink. It was a fantastic series of matches, some of my favorite battles of the entire first season. This season, I really expect them to perform well. I do not expect anything less than the highest tier of play out of Simple Tankers.
Now, Pub Stars, they are the highest tier play when it comes to individual tankers, but they have had some issues when it comes to performing as a team. And as they've gone over those obstacles in the season play, can they bring it together when it counts? We're going to find out. And actually, some teams think this is the underestimated team throughout the whole tournament. Yeah. Simple Tankers was that team in Season 1.
When I see Pub Stars, I think raw potential. That's what they really embody here at the finals. It's what Pub Stars comes to the table. Will it be that well meshed together team that we can expect to be probably first place, honestly, or will they not be able to work together? Will they crumble under the pressure? Only time will tell.
Nerve. Old name, new team. They've had a lot of new talent and mixed up what they had from Season 1. This is another wild card in this season because they had their ups and downs during the group play. And Randall, we got to see some very talented plays and also some not so talented plays from this team during the group stages.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of potential. They've got a whole new leader. They've had to learn how to play together like no one they'd ever played with before. It's just such a weird dynamic, such a new dynamic to see out of a team. And congratulations to them, seriously, for making it this far with such a new team under new leadership. Just fantastic by Nerve.
Considered the #1 underdogs, I would say. So they need to work for it. And they know, I've talked to a lot of their members. They said, hey, we know we're not the favorites going into this. We still got a shot, though. We're going to bring out some new stops.
Hammer Time, the new blood for this series and this season. They thought they could make it in Season 1. They watched a lot of Season 1. Unfortunately, they had some trouble in the qualifiers. But now in Season 2, they were the top performing team in the Major League Championship Summer 2013 series from World of Tanks. And they are hungry. They want to prove themselves here on this stage. It may be a new event for them as a team in a live setting, but if they hold on to the type of skills and talents and decisions that they make in group play, they will perform just fine on this stage and get a big piece of that $100,000 prize pool.
This is the dark horse team. We see it a lot of times. Not a lot of people really had Hammer Time on their radar for this upcoming finals. Now all of a sudden, they're really, really scared. Hammer Time themselves have said, hey, we're just as good as the other teams. Maybe we lack a little bit of consistency, but I think they're going to be bringing that consistency over here to the finals. They have a lot of time to prepare, 3 weeks in total. I think that's going to be a rude awakening for a lot of these teams. Hammer Time is going to come out of the gates roaring.
But every single team has been practicing incredibly hard for this. I've heard everything. I've been sitting in on a few practices here and there, and I went back through every recording of every team speak, and I've seen the growth out of some of these teams. I really feel Hammer Time has a very good chance. There's some teams that definitely have clean comms, but there's teams with these dirty, really loud and obnoxious comms. You see River of Blood, high energy, but Fulcrum Gaming is a team where it sounds cool, calm, collected every single time.
Real quickly, I'll bring up Cunningham's. When you talked about consistency, this is a team that has impressed us from their play in Season 1 into Season 2. They have continued to progress, and because of the cohesion as a team, I feel that they really have what it takes with the clear comms, with the decision-making, to make it far, to make it into the semifinals, because each of these teams wants to get past today.
Yeah, these are the silent killers. These are the ninjas of this tournament. You don't hear about them. They don't brag that much, but they are slaying everybody in their paths. It's amazing to watch the growth from Season 1 till now, and I think this team is, I would even say, a big favorite to win the whole damn thing. That's how good they've gotten. That's how good they are right now, and any team in the top 4, top 8, should be really, really scared. The Cunninghams, I would put them at the same caliber as Fulcrum Gaming, Hammer Time, and Simple Tank. Oh my gosh, the list goes on and on. But seriously, they are one of the front runners here.
And the last team that we have in the top 8 is going to be River of Blood. This is the underdog team. Not only did they have to make it through 4 straight wins in group play after 3 losses and a playoff match, they're up against Fulcrum Gaming in our first match tonight. The Cinderella story, the comeback kings. This is going to be a hell of a way to start the Season 2 finals here in Las Vegas. Any more thoughts on our teams, gentlemen, before we move on to today's matches?
I think we've covered just about everything we can.
Anybody can win. That's what it comes down to. That's what makes these finals so exciting.
Let's go ahead and jump into today's matches. The action's going to start off first with Fulcrum Gaming versus River of Blood. Afterwards, Simple Tankers versus Pub Stars. Then Cunningham's versus Hammer Time, and to round out the night for our group play, or for our matches today in the brackets, is Simp versus Nerve. And following that, we're going to have our awards ceremony and also a special match, and the action will continue tomorrow with the semifinals and the finals. Now in 7x42, it's a little bit different compared to the standard play of World of Tanks, even though in the latest patch, team battles have been added, so you can get on the action of 7x42. Now, a lot of people that are seeing esports for the first time for World of Tanks need to know about the rules. Randall, why don't you go ahead and cover it?
My pleasure, Clutch. 742 is 7 players per team, with 42 points allocated to each team. Every tank is equal in points to its tier. IS-3, 8 points. T1 Cunningham, 1 point. You guys can fill in the blanks from there if you play World of Tanks. Now, every match is a best of 7. And if we can't have a winner, though, by the end of a best of 7, that's quite a series to have. We will go over to a shootout. Now, a shootout takes place on Malinovka. We line players up on the 3 and the 5 line. Our admin will declare when to fire, and he gives no indication, no countdown. It's a very exciting thing. I hope I think I would like to see a shootout, maybe 1 or 2. What do you guys think?
Well, last time we saw a couple of shootouts during the league play, somebody decided to bring 2 Arties instead of 1. So I think some of these teams have analyzed some of the play that has been brought, but I really look forward to any type of strategy that is being brought here. And draws are part of the game, and some teams will decide to draw out the match to get a more favored battle, a more favored engagement, and because there's no 8-point rule, some T1s can scamper off and try to stay alive in some of those matches. These teams know what's at stake, and they're going to use anything and everything to make sure they win.
I love that you mentioned that developing meta in both the regular 7x42 matchup and, of course, the Malinovka, the shootout. That's what we can expect. I mean, if we ever do get to a draw phase where we have to go there, I'm really excited to see what 3 weeks of preparation can really do for you, how they're lining up their tanks, what tanks they're choosing, whether or not Artie is going to be on there. These are all questions that I can't wait to be solved.
And a lot of people can't wait to share their excitement online. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at WGLNA, on Facebook.com/WGLNA, and also to catch all the action and the VODs, make sure to go to WGLNA.com. Also, huge thank you to our sponsors. Azo monitors now available on Amazon.com, Kingston, Alienware, and Logitech. Gentlemen, that does it for our pregame show. It's now time to throw it over to Lauren Elise for the face-off of Fulcrum versus River of Blood.
Thank you, Clutch. It is time for our first face-off. I would like to invite the team captains from River of Blood and Fulcrum Gaming to the stage, please. Thank you, ladies. All right, so Captain Blood, you guys have had quite the struggle to get here. You had to win 4 games in the regular season to get to the playoffs, then get to the playoffs to get here. Do you feel like that is still momentum that's driving you guys? How does that feel to be pushed here? How do you feel?
Yeah, it was a little hairy because at some point we were like nothing to lose, so there wasn't a lot of pressure because when you're down 3 games, you're like, okay, we win one, whatever, win another one, whatever, no pressure. It kind of actually helps a little bit. But then you get to here, that's kind of dissipated because now it's do or die. Yeah. So I feel like it helped build some momentum, but now we really got to earn it.
Good. It sounds like you're very confident. And, of course, as the returning champions, do you guys think you're just going to drill right over River of Blood? You think you're going to hold your ground another time?
I think we stand a pretty good chance. They're a very good team. They'll probably give us a good run for our money, but I feel confident. We treated the regular season a little bit differently, but we've definitely prepared, and we are ready for today.
All right, well, as the higher seed, we're going to do a coin toss, and you do get to choose heads or tails. And if you win, you get to choose the map, or you can choose to defer. Would you like to do heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails. It is heads. You get to choose the map, or you can choose to defer.
I will defer.
Steps.
That means you get to choose the spawning point.
We'll choose north.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. You may take a seat. Good luck. You heard it from the captains themselves. Let's battle.
Thank you very much, Lauren. Steps. The first map that is going to be chosen between these two teams, Fulcrum Gaming versus River of Blood. I can't think of a better way to start off this tournament. And Fulcrum Gaming, this is a team that everybody knows about internationally, and especially here in WGLNA. This is a team that has performed very well throughout the season, but we found out that they can bleed. And if any team can bleed, River of Blood is going to be going after that team.
Now, when I think of River of Blood, it's hard, right? Coming back from a 0-4 deficit, that's a tough thing to do. In the season, you feel like you're down and out. Even the 5th game that they had, they were 2-3 for that, or 3-2 for that match. So by the skin of their teeth, they got over here into the finals, just like season 1. Heart is shown throughout all of WGLNA from this team. Let's see if they can keep doing it over here at the finals.
Their record 4-3, their losses against Hammer Time, Simple Tankers, and Simp. Their roster, Striker, Arg, Canaduck, Dopper, GQ, Savagey, Dot Golem, Laps, Slider, and Captain Blood is going to be leading them. But they're up against a huge mountain, and that mountain is Fulcrum Gaming. This is a team who, as we had said multiple times, took the Season 1 finals, and they are prepared for just about anything and everything. People on this team, Nagatron is the leader, Soviet, Jackie Rudo, F-Zero-X, Friction, Dodoma, Hugo Maximus, and Relics. Their record, 6-1 in the series, only losing to Wreak Havoc, who unfortunately was not able to make it to the finals. This is a team to watch. This is a team that a lot of people like to place their bets on, especially here in Vegas.
It's that consistency of Fulcrum Gaming versus the heart of River of Blood, and that's tough, right? Fulcrum Gaming has shown they are the best of the best when it comes down to World of Tanks. They can compete in the international scene. River of Blood still searching for that consistency. We sometimes see the fundamentals really going awry.
Yeah, and on steps. Actually, River of Blood hasn't even played a single game on steps the entire season. They never did it. They've practiced, but they have not even touched this map in competitive play. Fulcrum Gaming, though, has played this numerous times. They know what's up, and we've seen some impressive strategies from them. I feel like I want to go over a few of those if we ever get time, because Fulcrum Gaming has a wonderful approach to steps. Really aggressive, getting great tempo control.
Fulcrum's going to take the south with only a 31% win rate, which means River of Blood will take the north. They do have the advantage according to the stats, but the first kill, average first kill of 2 minutes and 59 seconds, with the long range of the map, I wonder which approach this team is going to bring from the north. But gentlemen, we don't have to wonder anymore because it looks like the game is just about ready before we jump in. But real quick though, with steps, I've talked about this multiple times here in group stages. I always feel this is the defensive map to play.
Yeah, I would say so. We see the most draws for certain on this map. Oh, well, one of the most draws. And when you have something like that, that's when you find out, hey, this is a feel me out map. This is a map where we get to see River of Blood, are you going to be aggressive? Fulcrum Gaming, are you guys going to be aggressive? Because there are very defensive positions that you can take if you are correctly reacting. T1 play is going to be the most important stuff on this map. Not getting your T1s killed so that, well, you don't have you have wards on the map. That's the most important part of steps.
That information is crucial, and also the information when you don't spot a tank to know, well, if they're not here, they have to be somewhere else. And Randall, you have a beautiful description on your screen right now to give us kind of a detailed look at how this map plays out.
Yeah, one of my favorite opening strategies from the south from Fulcrum Gaming was, as you see in red, a wonderful ridge runs just to the west of the ridge, and if River of Blood decides to go east, I feel like Fulcrum Gaming is going to have a perfect counter if they pull this strat out. You saw it against Pub Stars, and Pub Stars was taken out and made to look like puppies against that strategy. It was perfect. Execution flawless. I feel like they might have other strats up their sleeve, but this is the kind of aggression you can expect out of Fulcrum Gaming, and against a team like River of Blood, they're not going to sit around their base for very long. They're not going to sit in this range for any large amount of time. It's just not going to happen. They're going to push to the west or to the east, and it's predictable like that. Maybe River of Blood decides to go way out of the outside of most normal approaches to the map and go right up the middle. It could happen. Anything could happen out of River of Blood.
Rukil, it's so interesting that you say the aggressive Fulcrum Gaming, because if we looked 1 season ago and you said that, I would say, Randall, you're crazy. Why are you calling them aggressive? But this is the type of style they've kind of taken up this season.
They've wanted to play that aggressive style because they want to match themselves against any type of gameplay and strategies brought to WGLNA and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for battle number 1 of match number 1. Fulcrum Gaming versus River of Blood. The map is steps.
South side, Fulcrum Gaming. North side will be River of Blood. 2 Pershings and 3 1390s from River of Blood. On the other side, we have an Object 416, a T32, 3 1390s, and of course 2 T1 Cunninghams. Object 416, so interesting on an open map.
Yeah, this is one of the tanks that we have seen because it was added into a latest patch that has performed very well on smaller maps like Ensk and maps similar to that. But this open map style, you would typically favor the 1390s. You would typically favor maybe a T69. But we also have Hugo Maximus in a T32. This is more of the longer range defensive play with some of these tanks, but with Captain Blood leading the charge of the 1390s going down that one line from the north, that agility could prove to be very, very crucial in a matchup against a T32 or even a 416 because it can't turn its turret all the way around.
And as you can see, River of Blood being aggressive right off the bat, they did not stay anywhere close to their base. This is something you can predict, and I feel like Fulcrum Gaming has predicted out of River of Blood. Their opening strategy was there to deflect some kind of east side aggression, which is probably one of the strongest openings that River of Blood could have gone for, but River of Blood predicted this as well. that strong counter to an east side from Fulcrum Gaming. They know Fulcrum has studied that, and they've decided to go west instead. And they're making an incredibly strong push very quickly. They're already going to the edge. They're already almost there, right on the doorstep of Fulcrum Gaming.
Who's going to play chicken first? That's the question. Both teams looking to do like a base trade at this point. F0X, he is going to spot out one of the blue tanks, and he's going to just back up from here. So they're playing some mind games for now, but it looks like the rest of the team, Hugo Maximus, Soviet, they're closing in on that cap much faster than the River of Blood team.
Laps is scouting Jackie Rudo in that Object 416, just poking around the corner. Big shot right next to Laps, saying, hey, I'm under attack. Another shot from Nagatron of the 1390. That is going to be a miss, but that one is hit. Laps is the first one to fall on that T1. And now to the north side, there's only one other tank that could be in a defensive position, and that is Slider, being able to scout any movement towards the flag. And River of Blood is going to fall back to the other top half of the map to make sure that they do not push onto their flag cap.
Yeah, this east-west polarization that you see, it's not uncommon on maps like Steppes, Prohorovka, and it can happen very easily. And because of the ridge line that we were talking about earlier, that Fulcrum Gaming I expected to run up, is going to separate these two teams. It's going to make River of Blood's approach almost impossible. It's very difficult. You have to find the opening, and scouting the opening is incredibly risky. It can get very dicey for any scout to approach that ridge because there's so much open ground between the ridge and any possible approaches, so there's really no cover.
And let's also be honest, just looking at the tanks once again, I mean, with that 416 and the T32, that's a tough pair to actually crack. You don't want to be crossing a lot of position to close the distance, and that 416, it can easily just duck behind cover with its very small profile. T32 is exceptionally good in hold down position, so this is in a way where River of Blood can actually aggress onto their opponents. You have to play this sniping game, and honestly, it most likely will draw out because of that. We have 6 minutes left. It's just so hard for either team to aggress up east to west or vice versa.
And as you mentioned, Andre, that long range is such a beautiful thing from the T-32 with that 400-meter view range. And having that American-made tank with no cons, as I say multiple times, except maybe speed, but it allows great map control. And Fulcrum Gaming is going to maintain that map control, pushing in the pressure, that pressure against that northern section where the flag is from River of Blood. So that stops the harassment that River of Blood is trying to do unless they go for a gamble. And that gamble could be a push down to the south and then a sweep to the east.
I think they're going to play very defensive. Laps already went down, so that's 6 versus 7 at this moment. And with all the 1390s and the much faster lineup over in the north side, it will be difficult to really stop this push or some sort of screen. I know it's not too common, but if there is a big push down the south side, they know they will for sure have an overmatch. Their 1390s can get down there and reset the cap. So I thought for a little bit Fulcrum Gaming might try to swing up the north side and maybe try to take the northwest position, but it looks like they're just dropping back. 5 minutes left in the match, and now Canada going to be scouted out here. Wow, this is a little bit risky.
And Captain Blood at the same time. They tried to go for a bit of mid-control. This is actually a very safe position for River Blood to get into. They can get into this slightly lower ground, this nice defilade, and they can use that to hold down Canada. Now, if they don't get aggressive enough, tanks in the south can continue to spot them and maybe put out some damage. But for right now, Captain Blood is going to get closer. He's going to have a better time trying to scout any tanks that get exposed. And they're going to have to expose themselves actually more in order to try and shoot Captain Blood or Canada. Tanks further back, that's GQ, for example, Savagey and Doppler will actually have easier shots if, for example, Hugo Maximus decided he wanted to spot Captain Blood or Canada being closer. Just think about the angles of that.
As Canada Duck in the person, I just want to mention real quick, Captain Blood and Canada Duck were trying to position themselves, or at least put on the mini-map that, hey, there might be somebody in the bush to the south, but there's no one there. The spotting's actually happening from the east. And now Nagatron's trading fire, and Captain Blood has been hit, 97 out of 1,100, and that shot looks like it came from the east side, and now another hit against Captain Blood, and he's going to bug out of there.
He has to. And look at this advantage right here. Friction is the advantage of Fulcrum Gaming. That extra vector, that extra crossfire over here in G7. That's going to be so helpful with this because now Captain Blood is being fired upon. Friction not able to connect the shot, but it's the fact that he has shots. That's the most important thing. Friction can close the distance very fast with his 1390, so he's going to be in that reactionary position. He has to be careful, though, that he doesn't get isolated. Of course, he's all alone in the south side.
Canada Duck has been hit from the T-32. He's at 1178 out of 1440. He's going to push further south to get away from the engagement as Fulcrum's going to push in further north. I really like the slow push of Hugo Maximus in that T-32 to force River of Blood to back away. And with a couple shots, now River of Blood has an HP advantage as well as a tank advantage since Lap did fall early in the game. However, no time advantage is happening for both these teams, and it's now close to the 3-minute mark, and Fulcrum's going to have to pull the trigger and put some pressure on that flag, or it's going to be very difficult trying to chase down the rest of the members of River of Blood in order to get the sweeping kill of killing all the tanks.
I like what we're seeing so far from River of Blood. They waited until they're completely dark. They were spotted out for a while, trading fire for a good couple of minutes, and now they're trying to pull the trigger a little bit faster. Friction, as I said before, is isolated on the south side. They made a big south side move, but it looks like they're not going for it yet. Friction
Hugo
pulling.
Max is spotted out.
Oh, this is a little bit scary.
Canada is not able to connect all the way from the middle of the map, and he will get spotted in return. That is T-32 Pershing squaring off. Canada, though, doesn't have as nearly the turret armor of that T-32. He's going to have a hard time, and it looks like Fulcrum Gaming is going to try and sack F0X in order to get some nice spotting. Maybe they will get a T1. Slider may go down here as he does open fire on F0X.
Friction moving in as well. Canada will be flanked in a moment, but there are two 1390s right around the corner. What will they do? Doppler is going to be scouted out by Relics, who's pushing up really nicely. Relics doing a little bit of damage on top of Doppler.
And actually, I believe Canada took a hit from Friction. Wow.
He did. Now he took another one. Canada has been hit 711 out of 1440. He's trying to get away from that T-32. Hugo Maximus trying to shoot through those rocks right next to him. But he's going to move further in, and now the sweep's going to come from Fulcrum Gaming. Friction in the 1390 is going to trade blows with Canada. Doppler takes down Relics in the T1. Canada one shot away from getting destroyed. Friction gets the kill. Now Hugo and Jackie Rudo are pushing in across to the west as River of Blood's going to have to drop back in a defensive pose and stop the aggression of Fulcrum Gaming.
But look at that flank coming in from the north side. All 5 tanks converging on a single point, and that's exactly where all of River of Blood are. GQ in the Pershing will be surrounded right now. It looks like the other 3 1390s are trying to get good crossfire. Jackie Rudo needs to step up. There it is. He needs to be very careful, though. His tank is paper thin.
GQ takes another hit in the Pershing, going up against Nagatron. Nagatron, another shot fired in 236. Couple hits from T1 trying to stop Nagatron, and the flow goes down. Soviet cruises around the 1390, and now they're still on the run with 58 seconds left to go on the clock. Fulcrum Gaming's going to have to commit to the flag, or they're going to be on the chase and not able to catch up to them in time to get the victory here.
Blue base is under attack. They have enough time if they get 2 more tanks on top of that cap. I love what they're doing, breaking off right now. They're sending some tanks home, knowing that the 1390s will try to cap to draw out the match. But will it be enough? Will they be able to get the shots to reset that cap? There is, of course, Slider in the top corner, top left, who can reset it just a little bit on that T1 F0X.
Shots are going out onto Slider, just hitting right above his tank, and he does get a reset.
Slider with the reset, but now 1 second left to go. It will not be a capture unless it displays capture on the game in that 10-second window, 7-second window now. 6, 5 more seconds to try to get that reset. Fulcrum Gaming may barely get this in. 1 second left. Savage is able to get the kill. It is a capture. A capture with 1 second left to go.
Taking a look at these tank choices, we have 3 IS-3s and 2 5100s from River of Blood. On the other side, we have 2 5100s, a 110, an IS-3, and a 1390. And what do you know? Relics is not in a T1.
What is
going on, guys?
I'm completely baffled right now, guys. How is he not in a T1? He's always been in a T1 the entire season, and now
All right,
he's
look at this. Fulcrum
already
Gaming,
in
Fulcrum Gaming pushing past the F line now. Canada is on his own in the 5100, and he's going to have to get away very quickly because he's scouted. And oh no, he is hit. He is hit. Now he's running away. 1091 at 1400. He has taken some damage to the back of his tank. The HP war is going on between these two teams just before 1 minute into the game.
Okay, Canaduck is a diversion though. It's meant to make it look like they're doing a west side push, but there is the center push, of course, that's coming in from River of Blood. Still not seen just yet. Will Relics be able to catch this coming? They're right around the corner. No proxy spot has been done, but there are two tier 8 tanks in the back, 5100, Soviet and Friction. Kind of know this is coming. Those tanks were spotted across the train tracks, across the entire map. So I think Fulcrum Gaming kind of understand this is coming. Slider's going to reveal himself.
What a prediction, and shots will go out. And there goes the T1. What an ace shot. Slider will go down. There's no T1 there to screen for the cap. Laps is only there, and this will be an easy defense for Fulcrum Gaming as River Blood is just running into a crossfire.
Gosh. Jackie Rudo able to take out the other T1 Laps, and this this screen isn't too much of a screen because they don't have tanks alive to do this. Tier 8 just getting mauled by that T1 yet again. Jackie Rudo playing so well.
Dopper in the 5100 down at 352 out of 1400. Savagey trying to cover his advantage. He gets the kill against the 5100, but now here comes Fulcrum Gaming from the north side coming down to the south, trying to get some hits down on GQ in the IS-3. One shot, he will fall. Friction at 725, still got plenty of shots to clean up this IS-3 and the 5100. And now the game is just up to Fulcrum to either get the capture up to the north or push in against the last two remaining tanks for the kill. There goes one. Relics is able to get the kill in the IS-3. Savagey, the only one left alive here. Hugo Maximus tries to get a hit in the 110. Friction in the 5100 trying to block for him. T1 fire against Savagey, taking some hits. Savagey down to one more shot, and he goes down. Fulcrum Gaming takes battle number 2.
And this lineup looks pretty similar for Fulcrum Gaming. A T32, a 416, and 3 1390s. Same lineup we saw them use on Steps. On the other side, River of Blood sporting 2 Pershings, a T69, 2 1390s. A lot of autoloaders.
A lot of autoloaders indeed, but I like the choice of the 2 Pershings if they can hold behind those rocks against some of these autoloaders in the fray. And what I mean by that is in the middle of the action, these autoloaders are going to take a long time to have to reload once they empty their clips. And the Pershings, which Canaduck just got a great shot against Nagatron, are able to perform in those areas to continue the streamlined fire. GQ and the T69 is going to push a little bit up here, then fall back as Savagey and the 1390 is going to cruise around, not stopping whatsoever in that small French autoloader tank.
It's going to be interesting.
And
Go
now
ahead.
it looks like there's actually going to be a push-up by Laps. This is pretty normal. Laps, being a very aggressive T1 player, is getting pushed up with cover fire from members of River of Blood. Now, I'd expected something a bit more contained for, oh, and at the same time, F0X is getting pushed. He will go down, and who will get spotted? No one from River of Blood is spotted for that kill. That is a free T1. But it should be obvious, painfully obvious, that behind this T1, there are tanks waiting and ready to get a shot. I expect Laps, when he goes up, will get taken down in return by members of Fulcrum Gaming. They'll even this up. This will become a much slower game following that kind of push, and probably losing and sacking of T1s.
I really like Slider's position, gentlemen, on the hill. He is able to stop any type of aggression coming from the north, and that's going to push all of the movement to the west. And that's usually what happens. It's either a north or south engagement or an east and west engagement. This is going to be a north and south engagement. And you can see any teams or any tanks that are trying to push along those railroad tracks on the other side to try to get the flank against River of Blood. But all the way to the very south, we have one of those medium tanks. That's Captain Blood in the Pershing. And he's going to continue to try to trade blows. And he gets hit to the front, 1226 to 1400. Another one, he takes another hit. He is unable to see the tanks that are hitting him, though. They have not been scouted. And Hugo Maximus, with that T32, is going to have some great view range, but Friction is now spotted.
Battle Buddies are pushing forward, proxy spotting Dopper and Laps right now. They're trying to take out Captain Blood in the bottom left-hand corner. They know he's very weak. They can easily just gang up on him, and there is crossfire across this. Can they actually take out any of the tanks that are traversing over to kill Captain Blood? We're going to find out. Soviet is about to connect.
He's pushing in, but Dopper from behind. Friction is on fire, and he's going to get another shot in to try to take him out. One more hit. No, 16 HP left on Friction as Dopper is on the surround, and he does get the kill against Friction. Soviet takes down Captain Blood, but now Nagatron is going to be in a little bit of trouble as they try to focus in on him, but Soviet uses the dead tank as cover as a couple more shots ring against him, but none of them land true. through. Nagatron at 591 out of 1,100 is now going to push with the rest of his team into GQ and Canada Duck in the center of the map.
But Soviet and Nagatron should be reloading at this point, and Savage is hesitant to push in. He will maybe not even be able to capitalize on the fact that Nagatron and Soviet will be forced to run away. I don't know if Soviet has held a shot. He is, and he's going to block Nagatron, saving him and now Nagatron will get away. Savage will engage on Soviet and not be able to finish him off. He will not be able to kill Soviet before Soviet reloads and then returns the favor.
Still in the middle of the map, though, things are getting a little bit dicey. Jackie Rudo and Hugo Maximus are pretty low here, 711 and 293 respectively against GQ and Canada, who are both pretty healthy. Jackie Rudo able to hit one big hit onto GQ, but these trades are a little bit tough.
GQ trying to land another shot against the T-32 at 293 HP. It's going to be a little bit tough unless he aims for the hole of the tank, but that means he's going to have to pop out. And oh, from behind, T1 doing some damage. Relics, and there goes the T-69. Savagey pushing up in the 1390 along with Canada, still left alive in the center, but they're going to get surrounded quickly. Canada at 15 HP. He's got just one shot left in him before he goes down. However, he might try to take out one of these tanks. And the T-32 misses, but so does Canada against Jackie Rudo in the 416. Trying to trade some shots to the other side is Savagey. But now the T1 from behind. Relics gets some damage against the Pershing, and Slider takes down Relics. Slider, the only one left alive now in the T1. And Jackie Rudo and Nagatron are going to push in against
Nagatron's on fire. He's burning down to 23, 18, down to 77, and he won't burn all the way down.
No, I didn't get it. Fulcrum Gaming is able to sweep so far, 3 wins. They are 1 win away from winning the first series and advancing into tomorrow. That's right. Gentlemen, it's time to jump into battle number 4. Can Fulcrum close it out, or will this be the comeback of River of Blood? Let's find out on Abby.
And here we go, a 5100, a Pershing, and 3 1390s on the side for River of Blood. A 5100, a T-32, a T-69, and 2 1390s on the side of Fulcrum Gaming. You can see a much heavier lineup coming out from Fulcrum Gaming. They have a little bit more hit points, but it's not that much. Of course, the 5100 can really determine how well these teams do. If they can get all 6 shots on, that's going to clear up the difference between the hit points.
Now, I want to point something out here before they get into the engagement in the Abbey, which is that Hugo has a 90mm mounted. That's something that all T-32s will do in our 742 format. You'd think it was the 105? No, they will mount the 90mm on the T-32. It has a higher DPM, it's more accurate, and its penetration on gold rounds is higher than that of the 105. And I'm actually really glad that we have this new feature in our mods to be able to detail these kinds of things, like everyone's equipment and also the guns that they are mounting on their tanks.
Very good point, Randall. I sometimes think the 105 spreads more freedom when it fires, but the 90mm gets the job done with its accuracy. Captain Blood and the Pershing is going to be in the center, cruising around to the side of the Abbey. Nothing has been spotted for either team yet, it looks like, as Laps in the T1 will be his point man to try to find any tanks from Fulcrum Gaming. Fulcrum does play a defensive play, or has the tanks to play defensive play, because it's all they have to do. They do not have to rush in and give the unnecessary victory to River of Blood. They can hold this out, go for the draw, and then win the next battle.
I am very surprised about that, though. I mean, normally we don't see them being so defensive, but they are just tucked away in the northwest position. River of Blood moving up the east side, and they're doing so very quickly here.
Moving down Doppler in the front. That 1390, he's not going to spot anything yet as he gets closer. And he's going to have to be careful, because if he is seen by any of the tanks that do hold back in that defensive play from Fulcrum, a couple of those turrets can turn around and get the shots. But this is where turret breaks come in. A turret break is when you actually force your opponent to move his turret to another side so you can move in and get the shot. You're free to get the shot. You're free from danger. And that is going to be very crucial for Captain Blood and the rest of his team, River of Blood, to get some necessary damage to win out the HP victory. The Laps is now down in that T1.
That was a heck of a shot by Nagatron, right down the 5 line. It's such a small window to actually make that shot count. Fantastic marksmanship.
Wow, that was so close. Nagatron was clipping there, and he just got spotted out. He left the top of the flag. This isn't really a position where River of Blood can just swing in and capture this flag. I mean, you can see how open it is right now. It's just like it's a firing range for every single one of these tanks in the southwest to just crush them.
It's going to be very difficult for River of Blood to try and do anything with this map. Fulcrum Gaming could take it to a draw, and then there's a chance that we can see a shootout following that if this draws out. But a win by Fulcrum will mean that they win overall. I'm correct, Jess?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Fulcrum Gaming does win this battle. That is a win for Fulcrum, and they will move on to the semifinals tomorrow. Dopper holding back in the bushes just behind the flag cap of Fulcrum Gaming. He'll be joined by Savagey and GQ as they are preparing to push in if necessary to get some capture, some pressure on the flag cap. But with the position of Fulcrum Gaming, they are completely ready for that type of scenario. And Captain Blood in the pushing is still in the same position, not able to see or shoot anything. And Canada in the 5100, the powerhouse tank, the tank that does so much damage but is a glass cannon because of its thin armor, is going to be joining the rest of his teammates to the south next to the Fulcrum flag.
Man, I love these small little alterations that Fulcrum Gaming did. Think who was on the top of this high ground over here near the cap. It was Nagatron before. Now Friction is going to be showed. If he gets spotted out, then they're wondering where the heck is Nagatron? So they know there could be 2 people down here right now, the 1390s. That makes this position so much stronger. They're a little bit more scared. Nagatron could be anywhere, but the last time they saw him, he was down here. So they might be thinking, oh, there's 2 1390s there, where in fact Nagatron is just repositioning. I just like these small little tactical things where it just plays a little bit of mind games to their opponents, and it allows, honestly, Fulcrum Gaming to get these small little percentage increases, percentage efficiency increases over their opponent.
On top of that, their opening move, their whole lineup right here is incredibly difficult to assail. They're just going to take the fact that River of Blood is aggressive and play one of the strongest, most defensible positions on the map, playing the high ground on the west side.
Canadug's going to be cruising back to the other half of the map here in his 5100. Canadug, a really cool guy, really fun guy. They like to kind of poke him a bit here and there, just to have fun with Canadug. 18-year-old out of Canada. They have to travel a long ways here to Las Vegas for the second time here representing River of Blood. He's glad to be back. Yep. Also jumped on the camera a little bit, do some commentating when we were having our fun match. So another valuable personality to have. I mean, everyone here is having a good time, but it's really cool to see the different personalities come out for each of these team members.
He's doing the right thing right now too. The whole team. Actually, I'm going to blow up my mini map and just kind of explain this really quick. So you can see the big rotation that's happening. They're giving up this bottom position because they know there are tanks here and they're trying to isolate these tanks. The problem is it takes a lot of time. 4 minutes, 30 seconds left. We'll see if that's going to be enough time to kill all the tanks over here in this bottom left quadrant and then chase those 1390s. That takes a good 5, 6, 7 minutes sometimes.
And with that 4 minutes and 13 seconds now left on the map, that's going to be part of the draw out strategy that River of Blood may choose here to stay away from Fulcrum and to get a draw on this map. A new day, a new map, a new breath of life for River of Blood could be what they need to get that bounce back, that comeback against Fulcrum. And Fulcrum is going to stay in the same position, their defensive position, saying, come towards us, we dare you. We're ready for you. And if they do get one of the tanks down, if Dopper does fall, who's leading the charge now on the west side, Fulcrum can decide to go for the rest or to shoot straight north for the flag cap.
But look at F0X at the same time. I mean, these little things are so important. They had a heavy tank in the center. F0X was there to confirm that the tier 8 was no longer there. Why would you move out a tier 8 tank in the center? So you can see Fulcrum Gaming have these little indicators to tell them whether or not they should prepare for some sort of push. 3 minutes now left in this game. We're most likely going to a draw. It's very difficult for Fulcrum Gaming to obviously cross the map and flag cap. It's very difficult for River of Blood to chase down every Fulcrum member.
And right now, Slider going right up the middle, and he will spot F0X, and F0X will spot Slider in return. This might be great for River of Blood. Now it looks like they're moving a T1 up on the west side of the map, which could indicate positioning of River of Blood. Now, what will Fulcrum Gaming do in response to seeing Slider?
Well, Nagatron did scout out Savagey, Captain Blood, and Canada. The reveal is on right now. The River of Blood is moving forward. Friction is going to probably pull back, and yes, he does. No, he's just going to get a good crossfire on the rest of this team.
Savage's moving around the corner now in the 1390. Nagatron did take some damage. Shot fire from Hugo, and it's a miss. And now River of Blood's going to try to move in and get some hits against the Fulcrum tanks here. Hugo Maximus tries to get another shot down, or somebody tried to shoot Savagey. It's another miss. And now here comes River of Blood moving up to the higher level here. And Dauber takes 2 huge hits. Now another one at 299. He goes down.
Wow.
Soviet gets that kill. Hugo Maximus in the T-32 trying to absorb a couple more of those shots. At 263, one more shot, and he will go down. No, at 13, still left alive here. And Captain Blood gets the cleanup kill. Jackie Rudo, however, takes down Hugo Maximus. And now Soviet getting lit up on the other side as Jackie Rudo in the T-69 may be in some trouble here. Is he reloading?
Yes, he is. And now Nagatron, though, is in the backfield, and that will make it so members like Savage and Captain Blood have to pay attention. And actually there, Jackie is reloaded, and he gets the kill. Fantastic down on Canada. There are only 2 tier 8s left for River of Blood.
This is perfect defensive positions. This is what I'm talking about. Fulcrum Gaming just has their mechanics so well. Taking out the 1390 is so important because 1 minute and 5 seconds left on that cap. I didn't think Fulcrum Gaming would be able to 4v5 and win, and at the same time cap out with the 1390 killing the other T1. But guess what? They did it. That's why they're the best of the best in North America.
Captain Blood, the only one left alive. The last tank for Fulcrum to move to the semifinals. One more shot. Will it be Friction or Jackie Rudo that gets it? No, they're going to go for the Rams. Soviet tries to line up the shot. It's going to be Captain Mouse. Captain Blood gets killed, but Soviet takes him down. And that does it, ladies and gentlemen. Fulcrum wins 4-0 against River of Blood.
Beautifully played. I mean, a 4v5 that should not happen, but you can see the defensive position that they took. Nagatron sweeping around from behind. Hugo Maximus with his T-32 in great position. Everything worked out for Fulcrum Gaming. They know how to play their tanks. They know how to play their strategies. They know how to frustrate their opponents, and this is what we saw, a 4-0 sweep from Fulcrum.
Fulcrum continues. They are alive and well. River of Blood, one of the best stories we have seen when it comes to esports and World of Tanks, unfortunately, is out. But they may return in Season 3. We definitely are going to see more of River of Blood because they're just getting started when it comes to performance.
Yeah.
And they have a good leader, and they have good talent, and that's all you need. More time, really, is the last value they need to get better and better.
No matter how many times you knock them down, they have the heart to pull themselves up again and go for it. And that's what we can expect. I'm looking forward to see the future of River of Blood. But ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Fulcrum Gaming.
They continue on to the semifinals. Randall, any thoughts on that matchup?
I feel like this entire match just goes to show how incredibly talented Fulcrum Gaming is right now, how their newer and more updated approach to 742 format is paying off against a team like River of Blood, one of the teams that almost never drops a map like that, never gets 4-0 like that, a team that's incredibly potent, one of our top 8 performers in the league, and one of everyone's favorite teams goes down like that. Fulcrum Gaming just showing how amazing and good, and I don't even think we've seen everything out of Fulcrum Gaming yet. I felt like they were holding back a little bit, especially with the T-32 play on some maps.
And they can. They can. They know they're up 2-0. They say, let's not show all of our strategies right now. We still have another 2 rounds if we want to win the whole dang thing. Let's save it. Play defensive on Abby. There's no need to show something a little bit cheeky. And from here, we can just win out the series and hide our strategies until the very end.
Well, we did see one strategy that was brought, and that was Relics in a Tier 8. And that was a unique strategy, to say the least, but a lot of fun. Ladies and gentlemen, that does it for the first match today. Fulcrum Gaming moves on. The next matchup is going to be Simple Tankers versus Pub Stars. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the action continues for the WGLNA Season 2 Finals live here from Las Vegas.